Welcome to the SDSO's 2022-23 season. We have a lot of wonderful music for you, ending with Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, something to look forward to. We begin, however, with Brahms' First Symphony, which was called Beethoven's 10th when it was premiered. The context for that is that Beethoven cast a very long shadow throughout the entirety of the 19th century, not just in German-speaking lands, but throughout Europe and even in America. Brahms used Beethoven's template. He composed the way Beethoven composed. So Beethoven setting the standard for what a symphony should be was taken up by Brahms. Other composers too, in between, like Schubert and Schumann and Mendelssohn, but Brahms really nailed it. It's a beautiful piece of music, very dramatic, full of gorgeous melody. It's a really great listen. Also on that program is the Tchaikovsky First Piano Concerto, played by pianist Konrad Tau. Konrad is also a composer, so we'll feature a piece of his on the concert as well. Our second program will feature our principal violist, Yi-Chun Lin, as soloist. We love to feature our own musicians as soloists, and our audiences have come to expect it and really look forward to it each season. Surrounding Yi-Chun's concerto will be very colorful pieces. Actually, you could say the entire concert is simply colorful. We begin with Wagner's prelude to Tristan and Isolde. And then after Yi-Chun plays, we go to Respighi's Fountains of Rome. After the intermission, two pieces of Ravel, La Valse and Bolero. In November, we welcome pianist Orion Weiss playing Grieg. On the second half of that program will be Sibelius's First Symphony. Now, we've been surveying Sibelius's symphonies since I came to the SDSO. The SDSO had not played any of Sibelius's symphonies before I came, so systematically we've been going through them. We played the second and the third and the fifth and the seventh. So the first is another leg of the journey, you could say. In January, we'll have Dvorak's Seventh Symphony. Now, not maybe his best known symphony, but one that he considered to be his best, and many others also. Brahms was actually quite complimentary of Dvorak's Seventh Symphony. We played the Eighth Symphony of Dvorak, the Ninth many times, that's the New World Symphony, but the Seventh is truly a special experience, and again, the SDSO's never played it, so it's time for us to play this piece. On the first half of that program, we'll have a violinist who's assistant concertmaster of the Minnesota Orchestra, Ray Du. And Ray and I played in China together several years ago and really enjoyed each other's musical company. So we've been cooking this up for quite a while. He'll be playing the Korngold Concerto. Again, not a household name, but Korngold was actually a film composer in the mid-20th century. He came from Vienna, and when he was in Vienna, he was considered to be an heir of Mahler in the early 20th century. But he went a different direction when he immigrated to the US. So this violin concerto is concert music from the film composer. It's cinematic in scope, full of gorgeous melody and drama. In February, we'll hear Shostakovich's Seventh Symphony, subtitled The Leningrad. It was written in response to the siege of Leningrad by the Nazis during World War II. It's a very powerful piece, and represents the aspiration but also the suffering of the Russian people under the Soviet regime, which was basically what Shostakovich was after, to be the voice of his people. Attached to that particular concert is a lot of community engagement. So several universities are coming, bringing students, but also studying this particular aspect of Russian history, the siege of Leningrad during World War II, but also using Shostakovich's Seventh Symphony as a window into that history. On Palm Sunday weekend, we'll hear Mozart's Requiem, which is one of his most loved works, welcoming the SDSO Symphony Chorus back to the stage. Always a joy to work with them. On the first half of that program is the Stabat Mater by Estonian composer Arvo Pärt. Pärt is very well known across the world now. It's ethereal music. It's really something. He's still alive. He's in his 80s now, still composing. But a powerful experience and a perfect pairing with Mozart, I have to say. And as I mentioned, we'll end our season with Beethoven's Ninth Symphony. Now that week is our Bridging Cultures Week. So you say, well, what does Beethoven have to do with bridging cultures? Well, the message in the Ode to Joy, in the last movement of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, is the universal brotherhood of man. So what better piece of music to exemplify the relationships between different cultures. On that first half of that program will be an Iranian composer and a South Asian composer. Two women, Nilofar Irivani, originally from Iran, now a naturalized American, and will premiere a brand new piece of hers. After Nilofar's piece, we'll hear Rina Esmail's My Sister's Voice. Now Rina is American, but her mother is Indian, her father's Pakistani. And My Sister's Voice refers to the relationship between Western music and Hindustani music. So therefore we have a classical soprano and we have a Hindustani singer singing together on that piece of music. So you can kind of get the picture, right? My Sister's Voice and the Universal Brotherhood of Man. Another really great aspect of that concert is that we'll have choirs from all 4 high schools in Sioux Falls joining the SDSO Symphony Chorus for the last movement of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony. Now, on the pop side of things, we have, of course, our holiday concert, 'Tis the Season, again featuring our symphony chorus. And then in February, Valentine's present is Luke Carlson, who is a Sioux Falls native but has been living in LA for the last 10 years or so, and really making his mark as a singer of mid-20th century popular music. Frank Sinatra, Tony Bennett, Dean Martin, these kinds of songs. So he will come as a soloist and be featured on that February program. April, we'll have a sci-fi spectacular conducted by our assistant conductor Thomas Fortner. And this will feature music, of course, of John Williams, and James Horner, and Hans Zimmer, all this wonderful movie music that we've all come to love so much. Also, of course, chamber music throughout the season by the Dakota String Quartet and the Dakota Wind Quintet. Thank you, and please come join us.